Welcome back to a new episode of Creature Madness. And I am your host, Gus from Askewed Reviews. Now, if you don't know what Creature Madness is, this is a creation by my friend Matthew over at Horror Madness. He decided to create a movie club where all of us who are a part of it watch the same creature feature film, and then each of us does our own review for you. Now, the other members of this group, aside from myself and Matthew, are Ryan, Jen, Bambi, Amariah, Karen, and Ashley. And speaking of Ashley, it was her turn to choose the movie for this week. And she chose the 2012 film Thale. This is directed and written by Alexander Nordas. Now, as a bit of a heads up, this is a Norwegian foreign film that is not in English, but you can watch it with English subtitles. So let me give you a brief synopsis of this film. We have our two main characters of Elvis and Leo. These two gentlemen are crime scene cleaners, and as they're doing their job, they eventually stumble upon a secret area in a basement, which seems to have been locked off for some time. Now, at first, they seem to have found some sort of fallout shelter, where they see some old canned food, they see some supplies, but they eventually stumble upon two strange rooms, one of which appears to be an experimentation room of sorts, and the other is a bedroom. In this experimentation room, they find all sorts of odd things: sketches, diagrams, weird equipment, some recordings on tape, and even a bathtub that seems to be filled with some sort of milky liquid. Now, it's what's in that milky liquid that really ends up shocking Elvis and Leo. It's a young woman who's completely nude. Now, they do notify their superiors about what's going on, but they now have to wait till someone actually shows up to help them figure out what actually happened. To help spend the time, Elvis starts to play some of these tapes, and they all seem to be related to this young woman named Thale. As they listen to these tapes, they begin to discover some interesting things. Like, for instance, Thale may not actually be human, that there are other things or people out there that might be trying to find her, and this place may have been used to keep her safe. So, have Elvis and Leo stumbled upon something good or something dangerous? So, I definitely would not consider this a bad movie. My big issue, though, is about 10 minutes into the film, I had already figured out everything that was going to happen in the story. Now, that may just be because I've seen too many movies, but I just felt it was a little too predictable. The movie is also a little bit slow at moments, but it does have an interesting concept. So I would say this is absolutely something to check out for yourself and see what your own opinion is of it. But for me, on my scale, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. Now, if you do want to watch it, it is currently streaming for free on Tubi. Now, as a quick spoiler warning, this is the part of the movie where I now go over the actual creature that appears in the film. It's probably pretty apparent at this point that Tahale is the creature for the film, and she is technically like a fae or some sort of mythical creature that does reside or did at one point reside in the woods. We also get to see these mischievous fae creatures, which are either what Tahale was going to change into or will also eventually become, or are somehow related to her in some sort of familial or just genealogical way. These creatures do seem to be pretty fast and are definitely very deadly. The features that really seem to stick out on them, of course, are the claws, the pointed teeth, the kind of weird coloration to the eyes, the digitigrade legs, and of course, they all seem to have that little tail. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Creature Madness. And if you'd like to see what everyone else in the group did on their review for this film, just look up the hashtag Creature Madness.